What's up guys, David Falla here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another tutorial. On today's video we are going to be doing a classic gentleman's haircut, or what we call at the barbershop a regular haircut. That means the top is longer, the sides are shorter, but it's not necessarily a fade or anything like that. It's more kind of like that classic look. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to separate the top from the sides, and it's something that's very important. Make sure you pay attention to the cow legs in the front and the growth pattern on the back, just to make sure that you are sectioning the hair correctly and you're not going to cut hair in the wrong direction, and this can cause the hair to spike up, so be very careful with it. Now we are using a blood graduation, and with this we're going to create a limit for how high we're going to go with the fade, but also where the transition of the haircut starts. So that means that what goes from clippers to scissor work, this is exactly what we're creating right now. We are following the head shape because I want this hairstyle to fit very well with the client's head shape and the face shape. So this is exactly what we're doing. Now that we cut that blood graduation, we are going to cut the top, and I like to create a section right in the center as a my profile, and this is very important for me because this dictates exactly how the haircut is going to look. If it's going to look more straight, if it's going to look more round, or if it's going to look longer on the front. This exactly lets me see exactly what I want to do. How you can see, I cut the back a little bit shorter and it's getting longer towards the front, and this is important in this case because the client wants to style his hair back. So if the front is not long enough, it's not going to reach and it's going to spike up and not style how he wants it. Now that I have a guide right in the center, all I'm doing is taking horizontal sections to connect all the way to the back and following that guide that I created in my previous step. Right now that I cut the top, I'm going to take a section to connect the blood graduation to the top length, and super simple. The higher you go with this, the softer it's gonna fall. The lower you elevate that section, the heavier it's gonna be. So that's up to you depending on what you're trying to do. Now I'm going to blow dry the hair in the direction that I want the hair to lay, and now I'm ready for my clipper work. I'm going to use a number 3 with the lever open, and this is going to allow me to connect my clipper work to that blood graduation that we did previously. This is why it's very important to, in my opinion, to create that guide, so like that you know what's going to connect with the top and what's going to connect with the sides. So now how you can see, I'm continuing with the lever open and just continue doing what I'm doing until I feel like everything is clean on the sides but also is connected with the top. And now I'm going to use a number 2 on the sides, and this is going to just towards the bottom. I'm not going to go as high as I was going with the number 3, and I'm going to clean all the bottom. The client doesn't want it super short. This is exactly the length that he wanted, so a little bit lighter but not super light that you're gonna see too much of the skin. Now I just gotta make sure that I continue doing the same thing that I'm doing with the number 2 to make sure everything is super clean. And usually towards the bottom to the nape area, I like to pass maybe like a 1.5 just to make it a little bit lighter, kind of remove some of that growth pattern on the back so the hair grows a lot better. So now we are going to shape up the sides, and how you can see, I created a little guide on the top, and now I'm kind of connecting the dots. Make sure that you don't push back the line up too much. Sometimes you gotta do, you always gotta do it, right? Because you're creating a line that doesn't exist, but it's very important that you try not to overdo it. Always talk to your client to make sure that they know that if they want it to be super sharp, you might have to push it back more or add some type of color enhancement. In this case, he didn't want any of that. He just wanted to make it look clean, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But you can see the one side I'm doing it kind of like going right, and the other side I'm doing it going left, and I'm connecting right in the center on top of the ear. That's exactly how I create my shape ups. Same thing in this side, I'm just following the growth pattern. That's all I'm doing. Exactly what the line is, that's what I'm following, and then just making it look good. For anybody asking me that will ask me, because I already know it's gonna ask me about the tools that I'm using, I'm gonna leave the links in the description, also with a discount code, so you guys can save some money on getting the tools that I'm using for this video. Now same thing on the back, I always look exactly where the hairline grows, and that's exactly what I made my line. If I need to push it back a little bit, I always speak to the client before I do that, just to make sure that I don't push it back and then the client is unhappy with the service. Just because sometimes, like as barbers, we try to make everything about us, how we want to see it, how we want it to look, and this and that. But sometimes it's very important to communicate with your clients to make sure that what you're going to do it's also what the client wants to do, and not just you doing it just because you want to take a picture or do a video and that's it. You don't care how the client looks for the next 2-3 weeks until they come back. And something I forgot to mention before is that I did apply a hot towel and shaving gel. This is very important that you do that because shaving a client dry is going to irritate the skin. It's also uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, this is a service industry. We are supposed to make your clients feel great while they're getting a haircut, especially for those barbers that are trying to charge more money. You got to pay attention not just to your haircutting skills, but also the experience of the client, your customer service, all that good stuff, making the client feel great. Right now, applying a little bit of a paste and just brushing it with my fingers for that kind of like messy look, but with a lot of volume. This is how he looked before. This is how he looks now. I think he looks great. He's a great client of mine. He's coming in to me for years, and he's always super happy with the service. And that's it for the video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like it if you enjoyed the video. Any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.